I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. In 1803 we sailed out to sea, out from the sweet town of Derry. For Australia bound, if we didn't turn around, in the marks of our feathers we carry. In rusty iron chains we cried for our wains, our good women we left in sorrow. As the mainsails unfurled, oh, the curses we hurled on the English and thoughts of tomorrow. At the mouth of the Foyle, bid farewell to the soil, as down below decks we were lying. O'Doherty screamed, woken out of a dream, of a vision of bold Robert dying. Sunburn cruel as we dished out the gruel, Dan O'Connor was down with a fever. 60 rebels today, bound for Botany Bay, how many will reach their receiver? Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. I cursed them to hell as our bow fought to swell, our ship danced like a moth in the firelight. White horses rolled high as the devil passed by, taking souls to Hades by twilight. 3 weeks out to sea, we were now 43. Our comrades we buried each morning. In our own slime we were lost in the time of endless nights without dawning. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, how I wish I was back home in Derry. Van Diemen's Land is a hell for a man to end out his whole life in slavery, where the climate is raw and the gun makes the law. Neither wind nor rain cares for bravery. 20 years have gone by and I've ended my bond. My comrades' ghosts walk beside me. A rebel I came and I'm still the same. In the cold winds of night you will find me. Oh, how I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, how I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mother's Day party here tonight. We have Dan, God bless him. Welcome by.
Thank you, Betty.
And with your cooperation, we will honor Mother's Day as we feel it ought to be. What did you say, ma'am? I will not ask Jean Fitzgerald to say a word, for God's sake. What? Name of God, why should I ask Jean Fitzgerald? All right, then. Carry on. All right, if you want him, be. I don't want him. Leave him.
Well, Patrick, seeing that you mentioned Mother's Day, we'll have to sing something appropriate to that, especially for Mrs. Calanan there and all the mothers around the bar. You can cut out that one then, Joe. By the side of a clear crystal fountain, there stands a lonely churchyard closely by. There's a tombstone decorated with primroses. In the memory of a loved one passed away. Shall I ne'er see you more, gentle mother, in the fields where the wild flowers grow? I am sorry for that loss I can't recover. 'Neath yon willow lies my gentle mother's love. Some children take a liking to their parents, while some others fill their mothers' hearts with pain. But someday they will be sorry for their blindness, when crying will not take her back again. Shall I ne'er see you more, gentle mother, in the fields where the wild flowers grow? I am sorry for that loss I can't recover. 'Neath yon willow lies my gentle mother's love. 'Neath yon willow lies my gentle mother's love.
Friends, this is one argument I have lost already tonight. Tis mother's night. Jean, I'm afraid nothing I can do about it. I wouldn't ask you for the world, you know that. Will you give us... He doesn't sing, no. He doesn't sing. He'd say a few words. Say, just get it over and done with, for God's sake.
Thanks, Pat. I'm glad that your wife is the boss in this house, because it is Mother's Day and we all owe all mothers an awful debt. So Mrs. Calanan, I'm glad to hear that you're the boss here in this part of Kilmurry, and I'm glad to be here, always glad to come to my own parish, and as somebody said, to where all the Fitzgeralds are buried. That's important, Kevin, that's important. Well, no, not for a while yet.
The couple's still alive.
Might I say that I think this is an enjoyable night. It's always nice to come here. But to Janjo, to Dan, and people like him, we owe a great debt. A debt that can provide music, song, and dance on occasions for the ordinary people of Ireland. That is terribly important. And on Saturday next, I am doing a seminar in Kinsale. I'm being asked to do a paper, Is there room for Irish culture in Europe? And I can assure you, there is wide room for Irish culture in Europe. And what you're having here tonight is part of that. Dan, I'm delaying the group from enjoying your singing, and I shouldn't be. But Mrs. Calanan, might I say, I'm glad to be here with you. I'm not so sure I'm glad to be here with the rest of the family.
Poor old Paddy.
You all know as well as I do that he's a bigger rogue than myself. But it's good to be in Kilmurry. Thanks very much. Dan, thank you for the invite.
Well, now, Mother, I will not forgive you for that. How in the hell am I going to follow that fellow for the night? Nevertheless, I will agree that Jean is from this area. He's more of this area than we are. And if anyone should introduce me, I suppose, or the family, or have any few words here, is Jean. Thank you very much. Dan, can I... Off you go.
Oh God. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and paws or anything they got. All of God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and paws or anything they got. Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks in the hip. A bottomless moans and groans with a pictitude, and the old cow just goes moo.
And the ducks and the cats, they take out the middle where the honeybee hum, the cricket fiddle where the donkey brays and the pony neigh. The old grey badger sighs.
Oh, all of God's creatures got a
place in the choir.
Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and paws or anything they got. Listen to the top where the little birds singing on the melodies, and the high notes ringing, and the good owl cries over everything, and the blackbird disagrees. Singing in the night time, singing in the day. The duck quacks and he's on his way, and the otter hasn't got much to say, and the porcupine talks to us. Oh, all of God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and paws or anything like that. It's a simple song, a living song, and everywhere, by the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, the grumpy alligator and the hog above, the sly old weasel and the turtle dove. All of God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands and paws or anything they got. Skiddery-yay-lum-a-doodle-lee-la, skiddery-yay-lum-a-doodle-lee-lum, skiddery-yum-a-doodle-lum-a-doodle-lee-lum, skiddery-yay-lum-a-doodle-lum-a-doodle-lee-lum.
Hey! Thank you, Dad.
Especially for all the couples. Written by a man called Johnny Doohan from Galway. It's appropriate for anyone that's married and have a family around them. It's called The Voyage. And incidentally, girls, I haven't started on The Voyage yet, so I'll say no more. I am a sailor and you're my first mate. We signed on together, we coupled our fate. Hauled up our anchor, determined not to fail. For the heart's treasure, together we set sail. With no maps to guide us, we steer our own course. Rose out the storms when the winds were gale force. Sat out the doldrums in patience and hope. Working together, we learned how to cope. Life is an ocean and love is a boat. In troubled waters, it keeps us afloat. When we started the voyage, there was just me and you. Now gathered around us, we have our own crew. Together we're in this relationship. We've built it with care for it to last the whole trip. Our true destination is not marked on any chart. We're navigating for the shores of the heart. Life is an ocean and love is a boat. In troubled waters, it keeps us afloat. When we started the voyage, there was just me and you. Now gathered around us, we have our own crew. Life is an ocean and love is a boat. In troubled waters, it keeps us afloat. When we started the voyage, there was just me and you. Now gathered around us, we have our own crew. Whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray, over hills and mountains and to a merry quay. You're sweeter, stronger, decenter, you're spunkier than tea. Oh, whiskey, you're me darling, drunker soul. Oh, now, brave boys, we're on for marching north of Portugal and Spain. Drums are beating, banners flying, the devil a home will come tonight, and Lord, fare thee well. With me to the idle-doodle-lum-a-da, me to the idle-doodle-lum-a-da. Me right up to a laddie, oh, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh, whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray, over hills and mountains and to a merry quay. You're sweeter, stronger, decenter, you're spunkier nor tea. Oh, whiskey, you're me darling, drunk or sober. Said the mother, do not wrong me, don't take me daughter from me, for if you do I will torment you, and after that me ghost will haunt you, and Lord, fare thee well. With me to the idle-doodle-lum-a-da, me to the idle-doodle-lum-a-da. Me right to a laddie, oh, there's whiskey in the jar. Hey, whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray, over hills and mountains and to a merry quay. You're sweeter, stronger, decenter, you're spunkier nor tea. Oh, whiskey, you're me darling, drunk or sober. Oh, whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray, over hills and mountains and to a merry quay. You're sweeter, stronger, decenter, spunkier nor tea. Oh, whiskey, you're me darling, drunk or sober.
Beautiful, Dan. Beautiful boy. In spite of all the interruptions all night, I'd say we'll have a good night here, mind you. I will say we will. All right, carry on.
Whiskey or the Devil. That song was recorded by the Clancy Brothers way over in America a long time ago. I think I was in America too at that time. I know where you were, Paddy. Around the same time they recorded this one. I've travelled all over this world, and now to another I go, for I know that the quarters are waiting to welcome all rosin the bow, to welcome all rosin the bow, to welcome all rosin the bow, for I know that the quarters are waiting to welcome all rosin the bow. When I'm dead and laid out on the counter, a voice you will hear from below, sing, send down a half-dozen bottles to the memory of rosin the bow, to the memory of rosin the bow, to the memory of rosin the bow. Sing, send down a half-dozen bottles to the memory of rosin the bow. Then get ye a couple of buckets, put one at me head and me toe, with a diamond ring scratch upon him, the name of all rosin the bow, the name of all rosin the bow, the name of all the rosin the bow, with a diamond ring scratch upon him, the name of all the rosin the bow. I fear that old tyrant approaching, the cruel, remorseless old foe. So I lift up his glass in his honour, take a drink with all the rosin the bow. Take a drink with all the rosin the bow. Take a drink with all the rosin the bow. And I lift up me glass in his honour, take a drink with all the rosin the bow. Thank you. I'll sing her song first for her, Paddy. All right? We call her then? This is especially for Elsie as well. Donegal song. Oh, I know it's not right, reminiscing tonight of days that are gone and returning no more. But the girl I dream of has another man's love, far, far away on a Donegal shore. But why should I care? For she's happy over there. She may have children, she may be wealthy or poor, but I can't help my dreams as to what might have been if I had stayed at home on my Donegal shore. Now it's winter time there, all the trees will be bare, and the rain clouds will darken my native Githor. But if that girl I could hold, every raindrop would be gold. They would fall all around us on my Donegal shore. Now there's no one to blame, but before she took his name, when she told me she loved him, it hurt to the core. But I could never descend to be only her friend, so I left her there on my Donegal shore. Now it's winter time there, all the trees will be bare, and the rain clouds will darken my native Githor. But if that girl I could hold, every raindrop would be gold. They would fall all around us on my Donegal shore. If that girl I could hold, every raindrop would be gold. They would fall all around us on my Donegal shore. It's Mr. Tim Reardon to give us a tune on the whistle. Give him Do. This time it's a song about a man who came from Woodfield, near Clonakilty. Just a very short introduction. Sean O'Casey said of this man that he wasn't great, but he had the makings of greatness. And we'll never know, because he was just 31 years of age when he lost his life just 3 miles down the road from here at Billnablaw. Michael Collins, the ballad of Michael Collins. Or Michael. On a far-off August day, cold young men an ambush lay on a roadside by a hill where flowers grow. So much hate for one so young, who was right and who was wrong. Though 1,000 years may pass, we'll never know. Candles dripping blood, they placed beside your shoulders. Rosary beads, like teardrops on your fingers. Friends and comrades standing by, in their grief they wonder why. Michael, in their hour of need, you had to go. And when evening's twilight came, gently fell the autumn rain. Oh, but you lay still and silent on the ground, as we hung our heads in prayer, in our sorrow and despair. We wondered, was it friend or foe who shot you down? Candles dripping blood, they placed beside your shoulders. Rosary beads, like teardrops on your fingers. Friends and comrades standing by, in their grief they wonder why. Michael, in their hour of need, you had to go. Now the flame that you held high, when you called out to the sky to end the senseless killing and the shame, has now passed to other hands and is carried through the land by some not fit to even speak your name. Candles dripping blood, they placed beside your shoulders. Rosary beads, like teardrops on your fingers. Friends and comrades standing by, in their grief they wonder why. Michael, in their hour of need, you had to go. Michael, in their hour of need, why did you go?
We'll insist in Kevin Lynch. And then two all favourites.
Politician of Ireland, Dan told me that. I never realised it till lately.
That's right.
And it was carrying Dan to school when I was working the council back around Copy, and I was carrying that. He was a bit of a slinger, like. And I learned him the words of it, and it's possibly the biggest mistake I ever made in learning the words of it, because he still holds it to me. Anyway, we'll try it.
And it's of a brave young highwayman, the story we will tell. His name was Willie Brennan, and in Ireland he did well. But from the Kilmurry mountains he commenced his wild career, and many a wealthy nobleman before him shook with fear. And 'twas Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, old brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor.
One day upon the highway as Willie he came down, he met the mayor of Cashel a mile outside the town. The mayor he knew his features, and he said, "Young man," said he, "your name is Willie Brennan, you must come along with me."
And there's Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor. Now Willie's wife had gone to town, provisions for to buy, and when she saw her Willie, she commenced to weep from pride. He said, "Hand to me," said, "hand to me," and as soon as Willie spoke, she handed him a blunderbuss from underneath her toe. For young Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor.
No, this loaded blunderbuss, the truth I will unfold. He made the mayor to tremble, and he robbed him of his gold. £100 was offered for his apprehension there, but he went horse and saddle to the mountains of Kildare.
Was young Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor. Now Brennan lay an outlaw upon the mountains high, with cavalry and infantry to take him lay to try. He laughed at them with scorn, until at last was said, by a false-hearted woman he was truly betrayed. Was young Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor. They took Willie to the crossroads, and there he hung and died. But still they say that in the night they some do see him ride. They see him with his blunderbuss all in the midnight chill, and all along the King's Highway rides Willie Brennan still, and it's Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor. Hi! Skiddery-idle-doodle-doodle-dum-doodle-idle-dum.
In the town of Ballyfair there was a lassie dwelling, I knew her very well, and the truth I am a telling. Father kept her still, oh he was a good distiller, when she took the drink, oh the diddle couldn't fend her.
With me ring-a-ding-a-dong, with me ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, me ring-a-ding-a-dong, oh what for the daddy-o.
She had the wooden leg, it was hollow down the middle. She tied it with a string and she played like a fiddle. She fiddled in the hall, she fiddled in the alley, where she didn't give a damn, she had to fiddle anyway.
With me ring-a-ding-a-dong, with me ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, me ring-a-ding-a-dong, oh what for the daddy-o. Skiddery-idle-doodle-dum-doodle-idle-dum.
She had lovers by the score, every Tom and Dick and Harry was courting night and day, but still she wouldn't marry. When she fell in love with a fellow with a stammer, he tried to run away, so she hit him with a hammer.
With me ring-a-ding-a-dong, with me ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, me ring-a-ding-a-dong, oh what for the daddy-o. Skiddery-idle-doodle-dum-doodle-idle-dum.
She had children up the stairs, she had children in the fire, another 10 or 12 sitting roaring by the fire. She fed them on potatoes and some she did in mittens, and with lumps of hairy bacon that were boiled upon the kettle.
With me ring-a-ding-a-dong, with me ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, ring-a-ding-a-dong, oh what for the daddy-o. Skiddery-idle-doodle-dum.
And she led the shack of life, eating porridge and the curry, to terrorise her man until he did his son. When the husband died, she was feeling mighty sorry. She rolled him in the bag and she threw him in the quarry. With me ring-a-ding-a-dong, ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, ring-a-ding-a-dong, oh what for the daddy-o. Me ring-a-ding-a-dong, with me ring-a-ding-a-daddy-o, me ring-a-ding-a-dong, oh what for the daddy-o.
Thanks, sir. This time a song written by a Dublin man called Liam Riley, all about the Boston Rose, I think of 1986 or 1987, I'm not sure. Now the autumn leaves are falling, and the tourists have all gone, and the children, they have all gone back to school. and my life is as it was before. I work 8 hours a day, with the company still making all the rules. But there's a girl in Massachusetts, south of Boston town, she said, and her lovely face is with me all the day. Sure, I met her down in Old Tralee, golden hair upon her head, and I took her heart and she stole mine away. Oh, goodbye, my Boston beauty, farewell, my Boston rose. I'll wait for you, I'll think of you, no threat to you I'll pose. Goodbye, my Boston beauty, farewell, my Boston rose. I wish that you were here, but I know that's the way life goes. There's a song we sang all summer in the bars of Dublin town. I can hear it on the factory radio, and the feelings I remember when I hear that simple tune makes me wonder if it really happened so. For we laughed and loved together till the summer days were gone, and she had to fly across the ocean wide. So goodbye, my Boston beauty, until we meet again, and I'll keep the fire burning deep inside. Goodbye, my Boston beauty, farewell, my Boston rose. I'll wait for you, I'll think of you, no threat to you I'll pose. Goodbye, my Boston beauty, farewell, my Boston rose. I wish that you were here, but I know that's the way life goes. And some nights when I'm drinking and my friends have gathered round, well, just for fun, someone brings up your name, and I smile there with the rest of them. Oh, but I can't hear a sound. I love you, but to them it's all the same. At nights when I'm alone, my love, you come into my mind, and visions flash upon that inward eye. But I watch the moon there up above, and I leave this earth behind, and I call to you as I go sailing by. Goodbye, my Boston beauty, farewell, my Boston rose. I'll wait for you, I'll think of you, no threat to you I'll pose. Go on. Goodbye, my Boston beauty, farewell, my Boston rose. I wish that you were here, but I know that's the way life goes. I wish that you were here, so farewell, my Boston rose.
Go on then.
I was going to ask for a big hand for Dan and Kevin, but instead I called Michael and Mrs. Healy here, please. Michael and Mrs. Healy.
Far across deep blue water lived an old German's daughter. By the banks of the old River Rhine, where I loved her and met her, sure I can forget her. I miss my pretty Fräulein. Fräulein, Fräulein, walk down by the river. Each night when the stars start to shine, by the same stars above you, I swear that I love you. You are my pretty Fräulein. When my memory wanders away over yonder to the sweetheart that I left behind, in the moment of glory, the face comes before me, the face of my pretty Fräulein. Fräulein, Fräulein, walk down by the river. Pretend that your hand holding mine. By the same stars above you, I swear that I love you. You are my pretty Fräulein. I know a wee spot, 'tis a place of great fame. It lies to the north, now I'll tell you its name. 'Tis my own little birthplace, and it's on our soil. Sure they call it Lovely Derry, on the banks of the Fyle. I courted a young girl, her age was 19. She was the fairest Colleen that ever you've seen. Her cheeks were like roses, and her hair waved in coil, and she came from Lovely Derry, on the banks of the Fyle. I was young, I was foolish, like the rest of the boys, not knowing many sorrows, nor yet many joys. I worked hard for a living, oh how did I toil, far away from Lovely Derry, on the banks of the Fyle. I said when I met her, I will cross the blue sea, and a bell of a living for Mary and me. I cried when I left her, and my tears wet the soil, far away from Lovely Derry, on the banks of the Fyle. But a wee bird came flying from over the sea, and brought me a letter from my true love to see, saying, come home, my darling, to your own native soil, and I'll wed you in Lovely Derry, on the banks of the Fyle. But when I'll have a fortune, then home I will go, to the land of my childhood, and the sweet girl I know. I will build her a mansion, and no more need she toil, far away from lovely Derry, on the banks of the Foyle. Now for to conclude, and to finish my song, I hope, my dear friends, that I've said nothing wrong. And if ever you visit this dear little isle, don't forget lovely Derry on the banks of the Foyle.
For Christy Moore. And Kevin Lynch asked for the ballad of Nicky Kelly, written by Christy Moore, called Give the Wicklow by His Freedom. I can't remember. As I walked past Portlaoise prison, I'm innocent, a voice was heard to say, my frame up has almost been completed, my people all look the other way. 7 years ago his torture started, a forced confession he was made to sign. Young Irishmen, specially trained and chosen, were on the heavy gang that made him run the line. Others in the Bridewell heard him screaming. Even prison doctors could see his injuries were not self-inflicted. Those who tipped the scales did not agree. Give the Wicklow boy his freedom, we must give him back his liberty. Or are we going to keep him in chains, while those who framed him up hold the key? Deprived of human rights by his own people, sickened by injustice he jumped bail. In the Appalachian Mountains found a welcome, while his co-accused were both released from jail. He came back home expecting he'd get justice, but the special branchman took him off the plane. For 3 years we've deprived him of his freedom. The guilty jeer the innocent again. Give the Wicklow boy his freedom, we must give him back his liberty. Or are we going to keep him in chains, while those who framed him up hold the key? The People versus Kelly was the title of the farce we staged at his appeal. Puppets in well-rehearsed collusion, I often wonder how these men must feel. As I walked past Portlaoise prison, I'm innocent, a voice was heard to say, my frame-up has almost been completed. I'm innocent, Nicky Kelly is my name. Give the Wicklow boy his freedom, we must give him back his liberty. Or are we going to keep him in chains, while those who framed him up hold the key? Our friend Paddy Calanan there. As we honour in song and in story the names of Pearse and McBride, whose names are illumined in glory with martyrs who long since have died. Forget not the boys at Kilmurry, those brave lads so gallant and true, and they fought neath the green flag of Erin, and conquered the red, white and blue. On the 28th day of November, the Tans left the town of Macroom. They were seated in two Crossley tenders, one expecting to meet with their doom. But when they reached Channacoshel, they very soon came to a stop, for they there met the boys of the column, who made a clear sweep of the lot. So here's to the boys at Kilmichael, those brave lads so gallant and true. And they fought neath the green flag of Erin, and conquered the red, white and blue. The sun in the west it was sinking, 'twas the eve of a cold winter's day, and the Tans we were wearily waiting sailed into the place where we lay. Then over the hills went the echo, the sound of the rifle and gun, and the flames from their lorries gave tidings that the boys of the column had won. So here's to the boys at Kilmichael, those brave lads so gallant and true. And they fought neath the green flag of Erin, and conquered the red, white and blue. The lorries were ours before twilight, and high over Dunmanway town, and our banner in triumph was waving to show that the Tans had gone down. We gathered our rifles and bayonets, and soon left them glens so obscure, and we never drew rein till we halted at the faraway camp of Gronure. So here's to the boys at Kilmichael, those brave lads so gallant and true. And they fought neath the green flag of Erin, and conquered the red, white and blue. Forget not the boys at Kilmichael, those brave lads so gallant and true. And they fought neath the green flag of Erin, and conquered the red, white and blue. Thank you, Paddy. Cheers, Paddy, to those that wish us well. Up here, dear, and give us a song. Are going to give us a song, all right?
In Connemara, by the lake, where I loved you and you loved me, I still recall the day, sweetheart, you told me we'd have to part, and that same night you sailed away to distant lands across the bay. For 5 long years I had to wait, and now you have come, oh, too late. For I was told that you were dead, and yesterday at noon I was wed. In Connemara by the lake, 2 young hearts had to break. In Connemara by the sea, where I loved you and you loved me. The summer dawn reflects the dew and turns the waters angel blue. has kissed the lake and stirred the trees. And oh, my love, it stirs me too, and brings back memories of you, of summer days I can't forget in Connemara where we met. In Connemara by the lake, two young hearts had to break. In County Galway by the sea, where I loved you and you loved me.
Beautiful, Mrs. Elliot, as usual.
In the twilight glow, I see you, blue eyes crying in the rain. When we kissed goodbye and parted, I knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember, and only memories remain. In through the ages I'll remember blue eyes crying in the rain. Someday we will meet up yonder, and we'll stroll hand in hand again in a land that knows no parting. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Blue eyes crying in the rain.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Elliot. Thanks to heaven.
Oh, yeah.
You could see the squares of canvas dancing over the horizon. You could hear the shanty wailing to the heaving of the men. You could feel the seas up to your knees, and you know the sea is rising, and you know that the first day has come again. To the men on high the boatswain's cry commanded shillings rain, till every mother's son begins to pray. With a hearty shout she comes about, and she heads into the rain, and the ship has never seen a better day. Oh, sailing ships and sailing men will sail the open waters, where the only thing that matters is the wind inside the main. So all you loving mothers, keep your eyes upon your daughters, for the sails will in their tethers, and the mast will rise again. Beams and human dreams are all that make her go, and the magic of the wind upon her sails
weather than the fishes down below. God help us if the rigging ever fails. When the timber creaks, the captain speaks above the vessel's room. A lovely soul and board can hear the fall. It's nothing but the singing of the ship inside her bones, and this is when she likes it best of all. Sailing ships and sailing men will sail the open waters, where the only thing that matters is the wind inside the main. So all you loving mothers, keep your eyes upon your daughters, for the salesmen in their towers, and the mast will rise again. Where the current blows, the clippers know it's plowing fields of green. Where fortune takes the crew, we wish them well. Where men could be when lost at sea, or somewhere in between, the regions of a heaven or a hell. We're sailing eastern harbors on the California shore. If you set your mind to see them, if you can. As you count each mast, we'll sail and pass much broader than before. Then you know that the first day has come again. Sailing ships and sailing men will sail the open waters, where the only thing that matters is the wind inside the main. So all you loving mothers, keep your eyes upon your daughters, for the salesmen in their taverns, and the mast will rise again. Sailing ships and sailing men will sail the open waters, where the only thing that matters is the wind inside the main. So all you loving mothers, keep your eyes upon your daughters, for the salesmen in their taverns, and the mast will rise again.
Okay, folks, Denise MacDonald.
You may say that I don't care. Hold my head up in the air. I'll even tell my friends I'm glad that you don't call. But when the day is through, my heartache starts anew, and that's when I miss you most of all. And my arms keep reaching for you. My eyes keep searching for you. My lips keep calling for you. And my shoes keep on walking back to you. No matter how much I pretend, I wish I had you back again, because nothing matters half as much as you. My whole world just seemed to die since that day you said goodbye. Well, I can't forget, no matter how I try. And my arms keep reaching for you. My eyes keep searching for you. My lips keep calling for you. And my shoes keep on walking back to you. Yes, my shoes keep on walking back to you.
Thank you, Denise. work of day, and I row my boat away o'er the waters of Loch Tail as the evening sun is setting, and I gaze upon Benlisle where the afterglow glows, and I think unto bright eyes and the melting mouth below. She's my beauty's knee in the rue, she's my joy and sorrow too, and sure if she'll prove untrue, well, I cannot live without her, for my heart's a boat in tow, and I would give the world to know why she means to let me go, as I sing hi-ree, hi-ro. Lean Roo, your lovely hair has more glamour, I declare, than all the tresses rare tween Killeen and Aberfeldy, be they milk white, brown or gold, be they blacker than the snow, they're no more worth to me than a melting flake of snow. And her eyes are like the gleam of the sunlight on the stream, and the songs the fairies sing seem like songs she sings at milking, but my heart's a boat in tow, for last night she bid me go, and the tears begin to flow as I sing hi-ree, hi-ro. And her eyes are like the gleam of a sunlight on the stream, and the songs the fairies sing seem like songs she sings at milking, but my heart's a boat in tow, for last night she bid me go, and the tears begin to flow as I sing hi-ree, hi-ro. Mr. Derry Donnelly, ladies and gentlemen.
He stood in a beautiful mansion, surrounded by riches untold, and he gazed at the beautiful mansion that hung on the frame of gold. 'Twas a picture of a lady, so beautiful, young and fair. To that beautiful lifelike features he murmured in despair, if those lips could only speak, if those eyes could only see, if those beautiful golden tresses were there in reality. But I only take your hand like you did when you took my name, but it's only a beautiful picture in a beautiful golden frame. When he sat there and gazed at the painting, then slumbering, forgetting all pain, and there in that mansion in fancy she stood by his side again. His lips they softly murmured the name of his one sweet prize. With his eyes fixed on that picture, he woke from his dream you did when you took my name. But it's only a beautiful picture in a beautiful golden frame. With all his great power and riches, he knows he can never replace. One thing in this mansion is fancy, his wife and the love and faith. And each time he sees her picture, the same words he'd always relay. All my life I would freely forfeit if she were here again. If those lips could only speak, if those eyes could only see, if those beautiful golden tresses were there in reality, could I only take your hand like you did when you took my name. But it's only a beautiful picture in a beautiful golden frame. I've been a wild rover for many's the year, and I spent all my money on whiskey and beer. And now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. Last night when I was on my way home from here, after drinking the most of a barrel of beer, my sight it was dim, and the first thing I saw was that bloody blue escort belonged to the law. Now he stopped me and asked me a question or two, and he said, "Sir, I think that you've got quite a few." Oh, I said, "Oh no, Sergeant, this cannot be so." But he gave me the bag and he asked me to blow, and it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I be a drunk driver, no, never, no more. Now they gave me this thing, it was like a balloon, and he said, "Here's the bagpipes, will you play me a tune?" Well, I blew in the bag, and what do you think? The damn crystals turned into a queer shade of pink. To the station we went, a blood sample to get, but no doctor was found, so they called in the bell. But they were all out of town, and all I could do was to pass them a sample of the fresh Mountain Dew. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more would I be a drunk driver, no, never, no more. Look. Hey.
She, at the age of 83, one day May was taken in and died. And after she was dead, of course the will was read by a liar as we ought to by his side. To my brother it was found she had left £100, the same to my sister I declare. But when it came to me, the liar said, "I see she had left you her old armchair." How they tittered, how they chatted, how my brothers and my sisters laughed when they heard the liar declare, "Granny has left you her old armchair." Sure, I thought it brother sat me lap and said it will be used for chance and day. When you settle down in life, take a girl to be your wife, you'll find it very handy, I declare. On the corner across the night, when the fire is burning bright, you can sit on your old armchair. How they titter, how they chat, how my brothers and my sisters laughed when they heard the lawyer declare Granny has left you her old armchair. What my brother second through for in a year or two, straight I say I settled down in married life. First the girl I courted, and then the ring I bought, and took her to the church to be my wife. That girl and me were as happy as could be, for every evening when my work was done, I'd never brought her home. Each night I'd stay at home and be seated in the old armchair. How they tittered, how they chat, how my brothers and my sisters laughed when they heard the lawyer declare Granny has left you her old armchair. One night the chair went down, when I picked it up I found the seat had fallen out upon the floor. And there to my surprise was right before my eyes a lot of notes and £1,000 or more. When my brother heard of this fellow I confess, when nearly mad and rage and tore his hair. But I only laughed at him and said unto him, Jim, don't you wish you had the old armchair? How they tittered, how they chat, how my brothers and my sisters laughed when they heard the lawyer declare Granny has left you her old armchair.
Thank you very much, Breda. We'll have to keep going. Connie Cochran, where are you?
In history's pages, all heroes of great fame, these did on the battle won, and how they made their name. What the men who made the history, what the orange, white and green, what the men who fought in Dublin town in the year 1916. Some of them come from Kerry, more from the county Clare, from Dublin, Wicklow, Donegal, the voice of Morton there. I come from a land beyond the sea, Boston and New York, but the voice of the land and time was the voice of the county Cork. You need the voice of Kerry, you need the voice of Clare, from Dublin, Wicklow, Donegal, the voice of Morton there. Some from a land beyond the sea, from Boston and New York, but the voice only the black and tan for the voice of the county Cork. Oh, Cork gave us Mac Sweeney, and mortal he did die. Wicklow gave us the Wire in years long gone by. Dublin gave us Patrick Field, McBride and Cara Broom, and America gave us Stephen Lear, Lyle and Toe. But the need the voice of Kerry, the need the voice of Clare, from Dublin, Wicklow, Donegal, the voice of Morton there. Some from a land beyond the sea, from Boston and New York, but the voice only the black and tan was the voice of the county Cork. We seem to be the whitey, I really don't know why, but the glorious list of mortal, for all Ireland's cause to die. Why not get together and join in unity, for the north, the south, the east or west, the soul of all Ireland. To lead the voice of Kerry, to lead the voice of Clare, from Dublin, Wicklow, Donegal, the voice of Morton there. Some from a land beyond the sea, from Boston and New York, but the voice only the black and tan was the voice of West Cork.
Oh no, we are no, we are not sing anymore. Come out of it. No. Come on, man, Connie. Yeah, that was a great effort. Thank you very much. And it's your turn.
Irish boy was leaving his native home, crossing the broad Atlantic. Once more he wished to roam, and as he was leaving, his mother was standing on the quay. She threw his arms around her neck, and these are the words she said: "A mother's love's a blessing, no matter where you roam. Keep her while she's living, you'll miss her when she's gone. Love her as in childhood, though people old and gray, for you'll never miss your mother's love till she's buried beneath the clay." And as the kids grow onward, I'll settle down in life, and I'll meet a nice young Irish girl, and I'll take her to be my wife. As the kids grow older and play around my knees, I'll teach them the very same lesson that my mother once taught to me. A mother's love's a blessing, no matter where you roam. Keep her while she's living, you'll miss her when she's gone. Love her as in childhood, though people old and gray, 'cause you'll never miss your mother's love till she's buried beneath the clay. No, you'll never miss your mother's love till she's buried beneath the clay.
Thank you very much, Anne. We'll have to keep rolling as hard as we can out. Time is nearly on. Joe Crowley, please. Come on, Joe. Give a break.
This is a sound I was seeing that is Mother's Night, isn't it? Mother's Day. It's sung by Foster Anna. It's called After All These Years. Thank you. My darling, come to me, set you down easily, and rest a while by the soft firelight. Cold is the night, but warm is your hand in mine. Having you by my side, you're still my guiding light. After all these years, your soft assuring way is the rock I lean on. Saw me through my darkest day, when all hope was gone. You're still the only one I'll ever hold near, and I love you after all these years. Time for me passes on, I cannot unfold. Night's dark and cold, but warm is your hand in mine. Having you by my side, you're still my guiding light. After all these years, you're still my guiding light. After all these years. Right, we'll fast the tempo a small bit so, and this is a country and western number, and it's called the Carroll County Extra. What? Walking down by Island Bridge, going as I please. This April day the sun was warm, there was but a gentle breeze. I wandered up the old stone steps into the Phoenix Park. I watched the children run and play in the hours before the dark. I walked down by the monument. I lay there on the ground. The people started crying when they heard the battle sound. And I don't know what came over me. For a moment I could hear the pleading of a soldier's voice kept calling in my ear. Meet me at the Pillar Sun. Please meet me there at noon. I need you, brave young Irishmen. There is something we must do. Meet me at the Pillar Sun. It still is not too late. It's time to sing our freedom song. Come soon, I cannot wait. I looked around to see this man, but nobody was there. In the distance I could hear the drums, yet its silence filled the air. I closed my eyes and in a dream, a soldier I could see. He said his name was Padraig Pearse, and he kept on calling me. Meet me at the Pillar Sun. Please meet me there at noon. I need you, brave young Irishmen. There is something we must do. Meet me at the Pillar Sun. It still is not too late. It's time to sing our freedom song. Come soon, I cannot wait. Carroll County sorted out his town square. Was the biggest thing that happened in the county fair. I guess it seemed that it was such a big event, what we all call the Carroll County accident. Now the wreck was on the highway just inside the line. Old Walter Browning lost his life, and in a while it looked like Mary Ellen Jones would surely die, but she lived long enough for her to testify. Now Walter Browning was a happy married man. He wore a golden wedding ring upon his hand. A little sparkle, no one knew just what it meant. he lost it in the Carroll County accident. Now Mary Ellen testified he'd flagged her down, said he was sick and that she'd drive him into town. But no one ever doubted what she said was true, 'cause he was well respected in the county too. Well, I went up to see the wreck like all the rest, the bloody seats and the broken glass, the tangled mess. But I saw something someone else had even seen behind the wreck of Mary's tangled-up machine. A little matchbox circle with a rubber band, and inside the ring of Walter Brown in hand. It took a while to figure out just what it meant, 'twas the truth about the Carroll County accident. I dug the night up through the ring into a well, I took a secret oath that I would never tell, the truth about the Carroll County accident. So the county ordered him a marble monument. Yes, the county ordered him a marble monument. Thank you.
Mrs. Crawley, very much. Francis Healy. Francis, come on here.
Across yonder blue lies a true fairyland, where the sea ripples over the shingle and sand, where the gay honeysuckle is luring the bee, and the green limbs of Antrim are calling to me. Sure, if only you knew how the light of the moon turned the blue Irish bay to a silver lagoon, you'd imagine a picture of heaven it would be, where the green limbs of Antrim are calling to me. Soon I hope to return to my own country hall. It's the one place I know that can outshine them all. Sure, I know every stone, I recall every tree, where the green limbs of Antrim are calling to me, where the green limbs of Antrim are calling to me.
Thank you very much, Francis. Now, Bill Chambers, please. Come on here now. We'll finish you up.
Last night there's a glen in all Tyrconnell, there's a cottage in the glen, where once dwell the finest maiden, has inspired the hearts of men. She was handsome, hale and happy, shy and graceful as the dawn. All the neighbors loved the widow's handsome daughter, Noreen Vaughan, till one day there came a letter
with her passage papered o'er, to the land where dawn is serene, where the Nessus hitty flow. Very soon she had all things ready, and for morning at the dawn, the poor widow broken hearted parted with her Noreen born. Many years away, till one morning to her door came a tender-hearted female, costly were the clothes she wore, saying, Mother, don't you know me? Sure, I've only caught a cold, with a scarlet spot upon her cheek, on her the story told. There's a graveyard in Kilmurry, where the flowers wildly blow. There's a grey-haired woman kneeling, weeping over a lonely grave, saying, Noreen, now you've left me, and your health and strength are gone. It's the curse of immigration brought you here, my Noreen born. When the youths and tender female on the well before your home, to your humble home and errand, what's beyond you'll never know. What is gold and what is silver, when your health and strength are gone, and you think of immigration, won't you think of Noreen born?
Thank you very much, William. As the night is coming to a close, Dan,
in Dublin, fair city, where the girls are so pretty, when I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone, as her wheels are wheelbarrows, through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was the fishmonger, and sure it was no wonder, for her father and mother before, for they both with their barrows through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was the fishmonger, and sure it was no wonder, for her father and mother before, and the goats with their barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
Big hand there for Mrs. Mary O'Donovan. Thank you very much. Now then, we have to shout it up further.
Appropriate that we should say thanks again to Patrick and Mrs. Calanan They've certainly brightened up Kilmurry and my life. And my life.
Kilmurry have brightened us up as well, my dear, and you.
Right, Greta girl, you ran to me about this for I don't know how long, and I'd be in right trouble if I refused now, I suppose. Friday the 13th of February 1981. A lot of mothers were saddened by what happened that night in Artane in Dublin, and they still are sad, and their hearts will be broken forever because no money could ever buy back what they lost on that night. St. Valentine's Day comes around once a year. Our thoughts turn to love as the time it draws near. Sweethearts and darlings, husbands and wives, pledge love and devotion for the rest of their lives. As the day turns to evening, the nighttime does fall, all the people get ready for the Valentine's ball. As the night rings with laughter, some families still mourn the 48 children that never came home. Have we forgotten the suffering and pain, the survivors and the victims of the fire in Artane? The mothers and fathers forever to mourn the 48 children that never came home. Well, it was down to the Stardust they all made their way. The bouncers looked on as they lined up to pay. The records were spinning, there was dancing as well. As to how the fire started, sure no one can tell. In a matter of seconds, confusion did reign. The room was in darkness, fire exits were chained. Oh, the firefighters wept, for they could not hide their sorrow and anger for those left inside. Have we forgotten the suffering and pain, the survivors and the victims of the fire in Artane? The mothers and fathers forever to mourn the 48 children that never came home. All round the country the bad news had spread. There's a fire in the Stardust, there's 48 dead. Hundreds of children are injured and maimed, and all just because the fire exits were chained. Politicians were shocked, grim statements were made. They shed tears by the graves as the bodies were laid. Oh, the injured have waited in vain for 4 years. It seems like our politicians shed crocodile tears. Have we forgotten the suffering and pain, the survivors and the victims of the fire in Artane? The mothers and fathers forever to mourn the 48 children that never came home. $500,000 was paid in solicitors' fees, a fortune for the owner and his family. It's hard to believe that not one penny came to the working class people who suffer the pain. As the days turn to weeks and the weeks turn to years, our laws favour the rich, or so it appears. And mother still waits for their kids to come home. Injustice breeds anger, and that's what's been done. Let us remember the suffering and pain, the survivors and the victims of the fire in Artane. The mothers and fathers forever to mourn the 48 children that never came home. Dick Paddy Calanan, huh? We're in a no-win situation in this business. Anyway, cheers, Paddy. Kevin, will you come up here and we'll...
I national anthems we done years ago, and I was making and Clancy has done a lot for us for years for writing songs.
We do a lot for them.
Yeah. This song we should always sing together.
It is our money they have.
Yeah.
Right, Kevin.
Yeah, you shut up.
Right, Tommy. Right, Tommy. There's a piercing wintry breeze blowing through the budding trees, and I buttoned up my coat to keep me warm. But the days are on the mend, and I'm on the road again, with me fiddle snuggled close beneath my arm. I have a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in me pocket for me bow, and me fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. There's a fierce and wintry breeze blowing through the budding trees, and I buttoned up my coat to keep me warm. But the days are on the mend, and I'm on the road again, with me fiddle snuggled close beneath my arm. And I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in me pocket for me bow. Everyone in the house. And me fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go.
I'm as happy as a king when I catch a breath of spring, and the grass is turning green as wonderland, and the geese are on the wing, and the thrushes start to sing, so I'm heading down the road to see my friend.
I've a fine velvet hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in me pocket for me bow, and me fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. I have friends in every town as I ramble up and down, making music at the markets and the fairs, through the donkeys and the creels and the farmers making deals, and the yellow-headed tinkers selling wares. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in me pocket for me bow, and me fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. Here's a hat to one and all, to the big and to the small, to the rich and poor alike, and foe and friend. And when we return again, may our foes have turned to friends, and may peace and joy be with you until then. I have a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in me pocket for me bow, and me fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. Here I am from Paddy's land, the land of high renown. I broke the hearts of all the girls some miles from Beatty town. And when they hear that I'm away, they'll raise a hullabaloo. When they hear about the handsome lad they call O'Donoghue. I'm the boy to please her, and I'm the boy to tease her. I'm the boy to squeeze her up, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I court her like an Irishman at the brogue and blarney to a midship of me Rodigan, Sonnigan, Rodigan, Rodigan, Bold O'Donoghue. I hear that Mrs. Thatcher has a daughter fine and grand. Perhaps she'd take it into her head for to marry an Irishman. And if I could only get the chance to have a word or two, I'm sure she'd take a liking to the bold O'Donoghue. For I'm the boy to please her, and I'm the boy to tease her. I'm the boy can squeeze her up, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I court her like an Irishman at the brogue and blarney to a bit. Me Rodigan, Swalligan, Holligan, Mulligan, Bold O'Donoghue. I wish me love was a red, red rose growing on the garden wall, and me to be a dewdrop, and upon her brow I'd fall. Perhaps now she might think of me as a rather heavy dew. No more she'd have the handsome lad they call O'Donoghue. For I'm the boy to please her, and I'm the boy to tease her. I'm the boy can squeeze her up, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll court her like an Irish lamb with a brogan blarney to it, may trip it be Rodigan, Swalligan, Rodigan, Walligan, Boldogan, and it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while, in me own country, where the oak and the ash and the bunny rowan tree are all a-going greener in me old country. Well, she asked me for a handkerchief to lay to bed, and likewise for a handkerchief to tie around his head. She tended to his needs like a young maid ought to do, and then says I to her, now won't you let in with me too? And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in me own country, where the oak and the ash and the bunny rowan tree are all a-going greener in me own. Well, she jumped into bed, making no alarm, thinking a young sailor lad could do to her no harm. Well, I hugged her and I kissed her the whole night long, till she wished the short night had been 7 years long. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while, in me own country, where the oak and the ash and the bunny rowan tree are all a-going greener in me own. Well, early the next morning the old sailor lad arose, and into Mary's apron threw a handful of gold, saying, take this, me darling, for the mischief that I've done, in case I might have left you with a daughter or a son. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in me own country, where the oak and the ash and the bunny rowan tree are all a-going greener in me own. So come all of you fair maidens, a warning take from me, never let a sailor lad an inch above your knee. For I trusted one, and he beguiled me. He left me with a pair of twins to dangle on me knee. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while, in me own country, where the oak and the ash and the bunny rowan tree are all a-going greener in me own country. Out of time, and I've only 5 strings left and 5 seconds, so we better.
I wouldn't trust him with no.
Sing the Fina corn off the gowl again. Keep our soon, Shantir the Roddy Food. They both best Shantir or Shincher Fasta Niagara Pentir on nothing shore and not to Haste Barnabel a gamin clear con Bosch New Sail the Gonish Square fair of Nobel Charlotte Connie around the Veen. Safe home, God bless. Thank you all very much.
What does a person say in a case like this, ladies and gentlemen? Nothing. Thank you very much indeed. And anyone that will tell me in future that is a man's world, I know what to say to them. I mean, get
Well, it's a woman's world.
Down with the paddies.
I'd like to give a special hand to Dan, Kevin, and everybody who contributed here tonight, and Danger Keller especially. Now, I would like to pay a special tribute to Connie Cochran. He acquitted himself so well.
Yes.
And my good wife again has said to me that I should apologise to Jack Lynch and to herself for not asking Jack for a song.
Oh, yeah. He'd sing the Papa Don't Beer.
Now, ma'am, that's on record. Are you satisfied now, ma'am? Finish neat out of me. Thank you very much.
And Paddy.